Hello everyone. I hope you are doing good. So, in previous lecture, we seen about what is a SAP, what is a ABAP, what is the ERP, and all the concepts we learned in our previous lecture. So, we will started our core ABAP from today's lecture. We will see how to code, what is the data types in the to our today's lecture. So, let me share my screen first. Okay. Also, in today's lecture, we will see about the ABAP editor. What is the ABAP editor and where we are going to code actually. So, this is our SAP GUI screen. This is nothing but a SAP software where we actually going to store our data. We are performing some reports. We are do lots of work on this software only. So, what is the ABAP editor? So let me first introduce you our GUI. So this is a space where we run our transaction codes. So what is a transaction codes actually? So transaction code is nothing but suppose, let me give an example of the school. Suppose you are in the school and this is your classroom, right? So there are the multiple students are there and teacher wants to call this student, right? So how the student will call the student? Of course, with the help of his name. So in SAP also there are the lots of programs are there to be named by the some transaction codes, which is called as a transaction codes. Shortly called it as a shortly called it as a T code. That means a transaction code. That means when the group of code, group of line of code, it comes together and we will give it a name that is called as a transaction code, and we will enter the transaction code in our this space, right? So what is the transaction code to open SAP's ABAP editor? So that is our AC38. That means it is a name to open our ABAP editor. Okay, let's see the screen. Here it is a program. Here from here we will create our new program. We will jump to our existing program. Right. Let's let me create a one program which is called as a test program first, and then click on this create button. Jet test. If it is already exists, then we can open it by using this display button. Okay. If you want to create new, then you can create with the another name one. So why I put it here the G before creating any program. So if you are creating a new program, customized program, other than the SAP standard program, SAP standard programs, SAP standard T code are starting from the any letter, but our custom programs is only starting from only a G and Y. So you can put here Y or G only. On I am talking about the first letter only. So you can create it with the help of a G letter. Later you can write anything with the any name. Okay, let me create one program. One, two. Okay, create it. So here is the title. Here is the title for the program. You can give a meaningful name for this program. I can just save it as a test only. Then save it as an executable program. Executable program means we want to execute it. We want the output of this program. That's why we save it as a executable program. Then click on the save. Then save it as a local object. Okay, so this is our ABAP editor. Here we will gonna code. We are gonna write our business logic actually. So I want to introduce first some of the functionalities of the ABAP code editor. That is the first is a this button. Okay, this is nothing but our display change button, right? If I click on this button and wanted to type something, so it is not allowed to type me. If I click on this button, then I write only. So this is a display change button. It is because of when we want to change something, we are going to the our change mode only. Otherwise, it is only display in our display mode. Because of when we going for the debugging, it is only in the display mode. Because when we going for the debugging, and sometimes what happen, we click by mistakenly we click on the some text, or it will be erase something, so it will be cause the error. So that's why it is available in our display and change button. Okay, then you can see here the report, right? Report in another color, and this text is in another color. So why it is appears in the another color? It is because of only the this is a SAP standard keyword. Keyword means SAP stored the some words as their own property. So that is called as a keywords. So it is appears by the SAP standard keywords, and this is our custom name of the program, right? So this is by default first line of the our ABAP program. It is appears by defaultly by SAP's standard rule. Now you can see here the period. Why period is appear here? So it is because of the every statement in ABAP is closed by the period. So what is a statement? Actually, statement is a group of words, nothing but a group of words. Like this is a first word, this is a second word. So we can call it as a statement. Okay. Then here are the some buttons. So this is our check button. Check means either it is our program is grammatically correct or not, syntactically correct or not. It is checked by the our check button. Suppose you have written some letter in English and you have a Grammarly to check grammar. You click on there, and Grammarly tells you where what is gonna wrong in your letter. So this is similar like that. This is creates represent mistakes in our program. Then this is our activate button. So when we write a business logic, after that we have to activate the program to see the output. Okay, by this clicking on this, we can activate the program. After that, this one is a direct processing, mean this is our execute button. After click on that button, we will see the output. Okay, let's see the one example. Let's create check, click on this button to in a change mode. That's I write something, right? Write is a keyword to write something in the our output display. Okay, I write Isha Training Solution. Okay, so after the writing, I have to check whether it is correct or not. So click on this correct button. So here the text is appear, no syntax error found in a report. So that means it is a syntactically correct. After that, we have to activate that particular report by clicking on this button. Then click on this direct processing. So you can see here it is our output display. Here we can see the our actual output, whether it is a report or whether it is a business logic. Here you can see the text is a training solutions, right? So write is a keyword to showcase our output on the our output screen. Okay, as I told you, the every statement is closed by the period only. So our next topic is statement. I told you what is a statement. Then our next topic is keywords. As I told you, the keywords is a predefined words in the ABAP SAP standard programs. So by default, keywords appear in a blue color in a ABAP program as I shown you. This is a blue colors. So that is a by default our keywords. Then our next is a pretty printer. So this is a magical thing for our programmers. Pretty printer is nothing but a magical thing. So what happened in that particular? So let's suppose I have created some space here. Okay. And I click on this pretty printer button. So let's what happen? Magic happen. So it is by default set our program by syntactically correct, not syntactically, but we can say indentationally correct. So it is a indent. Okay. So it is used to clarify our program in a correct way. Okay. So this is our pretty print. Otherwise, use the pretty printer to format your program, right? So this is our pretty printer button. Then next we will see what are the comments in a ABAP. So let's see when a programmer write a code, then programmer has to leave some comments for their future understanding or someone else is joining after that they're leaving the organization. Then developer has to understand the code by leaving the that particular comments. If suppose I have leave here the comment like this is a text, this is a text to our organization or to print a string. Okay, so I leave the comment for my future understanding. So if I use here a asterisk, so this is appear is as a comment. Comment means our programming language or editor is treated as a comment, and it is not a check by the syntactically or it is not a check by the our runtime. So this line is ignored by our compiler. Okay, so I can we can put it as a asterisk, then it is appears like a comment. So if I have multiple lines and I want to comment this. Okay, so how to comment? If either I can put here every line a star. Okay, this is a one way, but I have a second way to do the same. What you should do, select all the text you want to comment, then press control and greater than. Okay, so you can see here we can comment multiple lines and uncomment it by the control and less than. Okay, or you can treat it as a control period and control comma. This that is our shortcuts to do a comments. Okay, then it is only appears when we started it as a first. So you can see then check it. We check our program if either it is correct or not. So it is showing the error here. This so if we give the asterisk, so it is from the start line only. If I want to give a comment from here, so I cannot use the asterisk. So I have to use a double quote to comment anything anywhere. So I could comment here, this is and comment. So there is a two way to comment with the help of the asterisk and with the help of the quote, double quote also. So that is a way to comment out the something informative information. Okay, so that is all about the comment. And this is a best practice to leave a comment for your program for your future understanding. So next is our variables. What are the variables? So we will understand the variable with the help of the one example. Suppose you have some water and you want to store it somewhere. So what you needed? You needed some container. Okay. You need some container to store a water. Okay. So this container is nothing but our variable, because when we want to store something, so we need a something like a container. So variable is like container who can store our numeric values, who can store our character values. Okay.
Hi, sir. Sorry for interruption. This is
Oh,
Kundur Mallikarjuna.
yeah,
So,
please.
yeah, uh, my question is that will you able to, so when you are opening a particular T code or when you are opening a particular thing, will you able to tell that thing each and every part? Say when you created a program, right? So there are some different multiple items are there, executable, and then some other options are there. Will you able to tell those things clearly while showcasing to us?
Uh, can you please elaborate what you want from me? Like you want to explain all the things in our editor?
Yeah, right. Each and every point and how we are going to, um, distinguish between each and line item.
Actually, not I
ए,
not
ए,
understand
ए,
your question.
क्या कर रहा है?
That means you want to know about these icons.
Right. Please proceed. Yeah. By the end of this class, I will try to
Okay,
ask
yeah,
my
we will
question, my
cover your
questions. Yeah.
question.
Sorry for
Okay,
that.
we will cover your question at the end of the session. Okay, okay, where we are, we are learning the variables, right? So this container is like a variable. We can store it here. Please mute yourself. Gaurav, please mute yourself. Okay. So this container is act like a variable in our case. Okay, we can store here the numeric and character values. So next one is a data type. What is a data type? So I want to store a water, but there is a in a different quantity. I have a 1 liter of water and I have a 10 liter of water. Okay, and I have a water bottle and I have a bucket. Okay, so I am going to store the 1 liter in our water bottle and 10 liter in our bucket. So in our case, water bottle and the bucket is act like a data types. We have a container. Okay, but what the type of the container? So it either can be a bottle, either it can be a bucket. Okay, so variable is just like a that. When we want to store the something, then we have to give us some type of the variable also. So suppose I have a variable with the name school. So what is the type of this school? Okay, let's suppose I have a variable with the name. Okay, what is the type of this name? Okay, name. Then we have to define a type. Then type of the name is our string. Okay, we will see what is a string later. So this is for your understanding only. Name is type of the string. Okay, in our case, water is type of our bottle. Okay, so bottle is not a data type in our ABAP, but you can understand it better. Okay, string is a data type of the name. So we can store name like ABAP in that particular name, and it appears as a name in our ABAP code. Okay, that is nothing but a data types. So there are the different type of data types. Data types. So there are the different types of data types, predefined data types, user defined data types, and the reference data type. So what are the predefined data types? Predefined. What do you mean by predefined? Predefined, it means it is given by the ABAP itself. Okay, it is given by the ABAP. So what are that particular? So there are the integer, float, and fact. These are our predefined data types. We can use it as a predefined, and we do not need to define anywhere in the program. So let's discuss how to define that particular data types in our ABAP editor. Okay, let's comment out this code. Okay, then I leave here the comment how to define variables with data type. Data types. Okay, so data is a keyword to define our data variable with the data types. Okay, so what is our variable? Variable is our name. Type is a keyword to match the data types, like it is a type of the string. Okay, so here we have types of data like integer, float, and fact. So you can define it with the I. I is nothing but our integer data types. So I can store, so name can't be an integer. ID, we can define it as a ID. ID, and if suppose I stored a value here, like a water. Recently, we are storing the water in one variable. So where I can store the any ID, 1, 2. Suppose I store the 1, 2. Let's check the syntax. This is syntactically correct. So now ID is refers to this 12. Let's suppose I print a ID now, ID. So what will be the our output? What is what do you think? Either this is a printer ID or 12. What this is going to happen after the our output? Either this is printer ID or 12.
12.
Yeah, actually, because ID refers to 12. Okay, so let's see the output of this program. Let's activate the program and run it. So you can see the here that 12 is appears. Okay, then we have a different type of data types. Like this is our integer data type. Then we have a float data type. Okay, idea is already declared. Okay, okay. So we can store the float value in our float data type. And next one is our packed decimals 2. Packed is nothing but a in float we have a variable length, but in fact we can define the decimal points also. So that's why we use a packed number. So if I do here the 10 divided by 3 and I give to 10 divided by 3 then and ID 3 is equals to 10 divided by 3. You can see the different types of output in our program by defining this. Let's check it. Okay. Let's activate it and run it. So you can see the different type of output. So this is our integer, this is our float number, and this is our packed with the decimal 2 points only. We can set here 3 points, 4 points, anything. And activate. Let's see this output. Right. So this is our the predefined data types in SAP. Okay. Let's see the another. So this is related to the numeric types only. The next one is our character data types. So character is nothing but we can store here the alphabet types of data. Okay. So there is a character C, then number character, then date, time. So these all are the character data types. Let's see the what are the character data types. So let's define the one variable data name type of C. Okay, but here we have to define the length 20. So I as told you, every statement in ABAP is ended with the period. So that's why it's this this error is come. So let's check it and store the some value in the name. Suppose it is a ABAP. So in ABAP, when we are going to store something as a string or as a character type, it is stored in our quotes. We cannot directly write like this. We have to So let's check it. We have to store it in a, so you can see there the web field is unknown. So you have to store it in a quotes only. So that okay. So let's understand this statement first. So this name is a type of the character, but character has a variable length. Okay, so we have to define the length of this particular variable. Either we are going to store the 10 length of the name, or either this is a 20 length of the name. So how many characters in that particular we are going to store? So we have to define first, then later we can store the value. So this is a one way to store the values, and another is from here. You can write here the value keyword, and you can set the value from here up also. So this is and this is both are the same way to define values. Okay, I can comment it, then write statement, and I'm going to write a name. Okay, let's check and activate the program, run it. So you can see here the ABAP. So this is the type of the our numeric values, character values. Sorry. So our next is a number character. Number character is nothing but we are storing the number in a character format. As I told you, character are stored in a quotes. Characters are to store in a quotes like this, ABAP. But if we use a n, so we have to use a 1 to 0 numbers as a character. Sorry, 0 to 9 characters, number characters as a string. So you can store here 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So let's understand it better in our IDE. So I define the data with the type of the n. So let's suppose this is our order number, order number. Okay, type of n. And I am going to store the value here. That is a that is suppose I stored the characters value. Okay, and I check it. Okay, and I activate it and run the program. What happened? And I forget to write statement, order number, order number. Let's activate the program. Okay, so we are seeing in the output that is a 0 is coming because in numeric type only 0 to 9 characters, numeric characters are stored. We cannot store the character, alphabet characters in that particular thing. So we can store here 1, 2, 3, 4. If we try with the removing help this code and check it and run it. So here after the name, order number, order number of type of n, and we define the length here. N. Let's run it. So this is appearing in the 8 length. So we are storing only the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4. But you can see here the extra zeros are come. It is because of the our length. Our length is 10. So it is by default setting the zeros before printing out. So our output will be in a 10 length. Okay, that is our numeric data type. We can store here the numeric values. Okay, then later variable type of data. So as we seen, we have to define here the length. But what if I want to store the value which has a no limit? I want to store the 100 characters. I want to store the 120 characters. So what I can do for that storing purpose? So there are the two types of data types here which has a variable length. So as I told you earlier, the string type. Okay. So what is a string? String is nothing but a set of characters. When the number of characters comes together, then the strings is formed. Okay. So how to create that string? So let's define the one variable with the name long string type of string. So here you can see here the type of that particular variable, that is a string. Okay, and now I am storing the value in it. Long string is equals to this is an ABAP on HANA training for beginners. Okay, I can store here the long text and I print it. Let's activate the program. Check activate. So this can be appear. This is an ABAP on HANA training for beginners. You can see here. You can store the values in a character format. Set of character is also stored. This is called as the variable length. So this is one data type of the variable length, and another is our X string, which is store the our values in a hexadecimal format. Let's understand it. So X string is nothing but we cannot store direct our character string in a X string because X string is a hexadecimal format. So we can only store the string which has a hexadecimal format. Okay. So next one is a user defined data type. User defined means user means that is a me, which is going who is going to code actually. So I am a user. I want to define my data types. So that is nothing but a user defined data types. So what are the user defined data types? Types, structures, and data element. So these are the data types are created using a decode, our decode SC11, which is a part of our data dictionary. So let's give us some example to create it. So you can see here the data element, structure, and table type. So we will cover it when we cover our data dictionary topic and how to create that particular user defined data types. And next one is our reference data type. Reference data type is nothing but the class and interface. When we create the object of the class, then it is reference as a reference data type. Okay, we will see it when we learn about the object-oriented programming later. So these are the in table format how we can categorize our data types. Here are the different type of data. D is for the our date type. The T is for our time. We can store here the date format in a time format. Okay, so you can explore it later one by one, which are the our data types. Okay, so explain the concept of the storing some content in a very some container. Okay, so container have three types. Okay, that is a variables, constant, and text symbols. Okay, so I explained you about the variables, but what are the constants? Constant is nothing but when we are defining it, then we have to set the value for the constant. Later on, it will be not going to change by anyone else. So let's suppose I have defined a constant. What is the keyword to define the constant? Is a constant. Is a keyword to define a constant. Let's suppose I have defined suppose I have defined as it is my organization ID type of n value. It has the value 1, 2, 3. Okay, then lastly period. Okay, let's check it. Syntactically correct. And I am going to set a value for it. Okay. Now as I defined here the string keyword and string variable, and I want to store the some value into particular string. So I can set here. But when I'm going to set the value for the constant. Okay. Organization underscore IT equals to I want to set the some value that is a 999. Okay, let's stop it. Let's check it. You seen the error that is that the field organization ID cannot be modified because it is defined as the constant. Constant means you can't change it later. Okay, so you can when you have a requirement about the setting hard-coded values for particular thing, so you have to define it as a constant so no one can change it later in the program. So that is all about the constants. Okay, so that is our constants. So later that we have a text symbols. So what are the text symbols actually? So let's activate this program first. Can be modified. Okay, let's comment out this. Okay, so you can see here the text element. What is text element stands for? So you can see here, yes, the text element. So if I define here 002 and I can set here the name as a ABAP and I activate it. So in my program 002 is a text which is appear as a ABAP. So I stored here ABAP name in this text symbol that is called as a text symbols. So now I can call it here by the programs that I can write here text 002. Okay, check it. Date 002 is unknown. Okay, text element. Let's define it as a okay. You have to use here. We cannot write here the values of the text symbol, but we can define it by the when we are setting some values to our output screen. Suppose I want the input from the user, then I can show here the screen by where I can set the values for that particular parameters, particular input. So with that time I have to use the text elements. So we will cover it in our next lecture for our input and output. Like we will go and see about the input and output, how to get the input from the user and how to give a output on basis of that particular input. In this lecture, we only see the basics of the ABAP programming. So that's why I am not covering it now. Then later on, we have a control flow statements. Okay, what are the control flow statement? That is if else and case. Suppose I have a conditions. I have a output based on the conditions. Okay, if suppose election is happening and I want to check whether user is appearing for the voter ID or not. Okay, let's create a one user type of user is a string. Okay, let's directly store the user's age. Okay, type of integer because age is a type of in numeric value. That's why I store it as a integer. Okay, let's I have to check whether age is greater than 18 or not. Okay, so how I can check it? So I can check it using a if and else statement. So if I write here if, so you have to define the if else statement. So this is our control flow statements. When you want to check a condition based on some specific requirement, here I want to change either age is either age is greater than 18 or not. So that time I have to define some control flow statements. So let's check how to define it. So if is nothing but where we write our conditions, which is our condition, what is our condition, and end if is a end for that particular if say condition. So here whatever the we have write in that particular end if, so this is inside the if our this condition, let's suppose this here is our condition one. If our condition one is satisfied by the compiler, then our this code will be executed. Else we are directly redirect to this block, right? And so else we are directly redirecting to the this part. If suppose I have a condition that the age if age is, so this is a symbol for greater than value. Either this is a greater than this one or not. Okay, so if age is greater than 18, okay, so we are setting the value from here. Suppose I have set the 17. Okay, and I am right here, right, valid, valid age. Okay, so let's activate it. Let's check and activate it. Let's comment out the above code. What you guys think? What will be the print? What will be our output? Anyone can guess the output? Let me explain you once again. So suppose I have a variable age with the value of the 17. So you can see here 17 is less than our 18. Okay. So if I have written the condition here, if age is greater than 18, then this statement will be print. Otherwise, we are not going to this block. We are directly redirect to the this code. So let's put here the breakpoint for your understanding. We will see it later how to debug and how we'll perform this kind of activity. So now forget about it. What is going to happen? We'll see only the how the if will going to happen. Okay, let's activate the program first. Activate it. Let's run it. So you can hear debugger is activated. So you can see here the value of the age. So you can see here the value of the age is 17. Okay, so let's continue this. Okay, so it is not going in this particular block. It is directly redirect to the our right statement end. Let's suppose I change the value of the age, that is our 19. Okay, let's activate the program first. Okay, then run the program and check it. So you can see here now our code is going to here. Okay, breakpoint is now set to the this right statement. In our previous condition, it is not going to this block. It is directly redirect to the this statement. Okay, now this is going to this, and then later it is going to our next write. Okay, and you can see in the output that is valid age and end the program. What if I want to print not a valid age if age is less than 18? Suppose age is less than 18 and I want to print this is not a valid age. So I use here the else block, else, to print this. Let's say print it, and I have used the pretty printer for the formatting. So you can see here the code is formatted automatically, not validates. Else means if these conditions are satisfied, then this code will be run. Otherwise, this code will be run. Okay, either this or this. If this condition satisfied, our code will go into this part. Otherwise, it will go into this part. Okay, let's activate this program and let's see what happening in the debugging mode. Okay, so let's see what is happening. So our age is 17, which is less than 18. Okay, let's go. So you can see here now this condition is not satisfied. That's why it is going to our else part, and This time not valid age is printing, and our debugging is set to this right statement, not to the this right statement. And you can see this is not going to the this part, this going to the first this part of the our code. Later on this go jump into the this right. Okay, so let's run this. Not valid is and end the program. So this is all about our control flow statement, if statement. So there is a one more control flow statement that is called as a case statement. Case. So we will see it later in our next lecture. If you have any doubt in our this lecture, you can ask now. I will be share this file on the WhatsApp group if you are active. So this is our control flow if else. Else. Okay. So if you have any doubts of this session, you can ask or you can leave the session now. Thank you for the attending this session. You guys have been wonderful peoples for listening me throughout the 1 hour. You can ask me in the chat box also if you have any doubt. No one has a doubt. Okay, then I would like to request you please go for the proceed for the payment so we can give you the server for the practice and you can practice it later because what I teach you today, you will forget it later. So you have to practice. So you for the practice, you want the server. So please go ahead for the payment. So we will give you the server for the practice. Okay.
Mm, Karthik, Gaurav this side.
Yeah, Gaurav.
Uh, Whatever you just taught us, you will share these notes, right?
Yes, yes.
But right now, like in this lecture, like I'm not very very clear with the things like just G test like this. So because I joined a little bit, I think 10 or 15 minutes later this meeting. Maybe due
Okay.
to that. So for this session, like a few things that instance or G test name. So I don't get it. What is the exact thing?
Can you mention some things that you not understand properly? What
Yeah,
does it mean by the
you are
our data?
selecting that Z test now. There is a one
Right. Yes, yes.
Z test. So that kind of things I don't understand. What is that?
Okay, okay. Actually, you joined 10 minutes after the 10 minutes. That's why you are not got it. Actually, the this is a SAP standard, so we have to rewrite our custom development object with the G and Y only. So SAP is understand it is our custom. It is not provided by the SAP. If it is created by the SAP, so SAP can give it any name. But what it comes to us, so we have to define it with the G and Y only. So everyone can understand, SAP can understand. So it is a customize your customized own customized key code or your customized program.
Okay, you are saying that for Z test and Y test that is separate for the customization purpose. Other than that, all are the fixed or we can say that is standard things, right?
Yes, yes. Which is start from the G or Y, which is our custom, and which is not starting from the G and Y, which is directly provided by the SAP.
Okay. So what is that? What is that? That is Z test. What is that actually?
It is just for the understanding purpose that which is customized, which is our own program, which is provided by the SAP. So
Mm.
this is only for the categorize the things which is custom and which is provided by the SAP.
Okay, like we are it's like a coding editor for customization that is in Z test and Y test, right? For
No,
standard,
test name is given by me for my program, but
no,
JD is
no,
mandatory.
coding editor.
Coding editor.
Yes. So this is a separate coding editor, so you can save your like code, whatever you customize in the Z test and Y
No,
test.
no, 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 no. Actually, I have told before this you join actually. This is a SAP software which is called as the GUI, and we have a transaction code AC38 for the
Mm.
coding, for the code editor, where you can create your customized projects, customized programs.
Mm. Okay.
If you have any doubts, you can prefer the recording and see that which you miss before you joining. Uh,
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you.
yeah. So guys, thank you so much for the attending this lecture. Please going forward for the payment. So make we are going to provide your server for the practice, and later on you can practice it on the daily basis. So thank you
So,
guys. Yeah, Ravi,
Karthik, like when can we get the recordings?
when you can access the recordings, right?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, please raise the question in our group so others can reply this question. So I am not a good person to reply that. So please ask in a group.
Mhm.
So ma'am will be answer to your question.
Okay. Okay, Karthik.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, guys.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
all. Bye.